Hey guys, it's Griffin here, and welcome to my Let's Play of Pokémon HeartGold version. This is essentially the sequel to my Let's Play of Pokémon Fire Red version, and this is a game that I and many people treasure. This is absolutely one of the best Pokemon games to ever be made. I wouldn't say the best Pokemon game to be made, but still, it is an absolute blast from the past of my childhood, and I cannot wait to get started on this amazing journey with you guys. I've been teasing this for months, and now we are finally here. So, nothing else to do but get started. I will first tell you the important things about this game. Please touch any topic you'd like to know more about on the lower screen. Even though I don't necessarily need to know anything here, I'm still going to go over what information there is presented here, just so we're all on the same page as to what is going on here. So to start off, I'll explain this game controls. You can control this game by touching the lower screen, also called the touch screen. Please touch a panel on the bottom right of the touch screen. This game was made on the original Nintendo DS, so they do make usage of the touchscreen, and trust me, touchscreen is going to be our friend here during this Let's Play. By touching a touchscreen like this, you can confirm selections and advance conversations. You can also advance by pressing the A button when you see the A icon on the touchscreen. Different touch buttons will appear on the touchscreen depending on the situation. If this mark is shown in the message window, there are active buttons you can touch on the touchscreen below. Good little indicator for you. Next, I'll explain about buttons. Use the D-pad control pad to move the main character. You can also use the D-pad to to select entries. You can operate the screens using buttons instead of using the touchscreen. A is used to confirm choice, check things, chat, and scroll text. B is used to exit, cancel a choice, and cancel a mode. X and Y are new buttons that were introduced on the DS. Use this to move within menus. And then Y can be used to use a key item, such as a bicycle that has been registered in advance. We'll get to this at a later point. Do you understand everything so far? Yes. And just to cover things, we're also going to go over the adventure info, just to be sure we all understand what the heck is going to go on here. You are about to enter a world where you embark on a grand adventure of your very own. Speak to people and check things wherever you go, be it in towns, roads, or caves. Gather information and hints from every possible source. New paths will open to you when you help people in need, overcome challenges, and solve mysteries. At times, you will be challenged by others to a battle. At other times, wild creatures may stand in your way. By overcoming such hurdles, you will gain great power. However, your adventure is not solely about becoming powerful. On your travels, we hope that you will meet countless people and, through them, achieve personal growth. This is the most important objective of this adventure. Alright, so now that we've gotten all the redundant info out of the way, let's get started. Interesting. Huh? Oh, excuse me, sorry. I was just reading this book here. Sorry to keep you waiting. Welcome to the world of Pokemon. My name is Professor Oak, but everyone calls me the Pokemon Professor. Before we go any further, I'd like to tell you a few things you should know about this world. This world is widely inhabited by creatures known as Pokemon. Hello, Meryl. We humans live alongside Pokemon as friends. At times, we play together, and at other times, we work together. Some people use their Pokemon to battle and develop closer bonds with them. God bless. Now, why don't you tell me a little bit about yourself? Are you a boy or are you a girl? Won't you please tell me? For the purposes of this Let's Play, we are going to be going with the boy. I know that Lyra is a more desirable character just in terms of the design, but I prefer to go with the OG design. I like to let Lyra speak for herself. So we're going to go with ourselves as a boy. Please tell me your name. For the purposes of this Let's Play, we're going to be going with my usual name here. We're going to be using proper capitalization for everything. I would be going with Griffin Oni as a full name, but unfortunately the character limit for names has not quite exceeded 7. So we're going to be going with Griffin as always. Your name is Griffin? Yes. It sure is. Griffin, are you ready? Your very own tale of grand adventure is about to unfold. Fun experiences, difficult experiences, there's so much waiting for you. Dreams, adventure, let's go to the world of Pokemon. I'll see you later. And now, we have become chibi once more. Welcome to our room. There isn't a whole lot here at the immediate moment. We have a plant that we can't even get any flavor text from. We have a bed. Still no flavor text. Let's look over here. It's a Wii. Wii is huge in Johto too. Yeah, so this was during the early 2000s. So the most prevalent Nintendo console at the time was Wii. I'm pretty sure it was an N64 back in the day, but you know, times have changed and things have to change a little bit. There's a TV here. Nothing going on there, I suppose. I do want to check the PC here real quick. This is my personal PC here. Inside the PC, there's actually a letter from our neighbor Lyra. Let's take a look inside. Let's read here. Oh, I was a little too quick there. Adventure, excited, I love Pokemon. We have a little Meryl stamp and it's signed Lyra. It's a very cute little detail that I'm guessing some of you may not have known if you didn't bother to actually check your PC. There are no items inside the PC unlike in some other games, so it's just the mail, but that's totally fine. Let's head downstairs. Hello, mother dear. Hi, Griffin. You're finally awake. Your friend Lyra was just here. She was playing hide and seek with her Meryl. Oh, I almost forgot. Our acquaintance Professor Elm was looking for you. He said he had a favor to ask of you. You know where his lab is, right? It's right next door to us. By the way, do you have everything you need to go out? Here, use this bag to carry things. This is your trainer card. Here you can save a record of your progress. These are also rather helpful. Just try touching the buttons and you'll know what to do in no time. Mother, what buttons do you speak of? Am I a robot? No, anyway, one of the things that this particular game wanted to introduce was the idea of interacting with the menu from the touchscreen. You obviously can still interact with these things by hitting the X button, but if you want to get right to the menu, you can actually just touch it right away. So right now we have a trainer card, our bag, and the save button and options. With the options now available, I am going to make a couple of adjustments. Mainly, I'm going to increase the text speed because that needs to be on. We'll go over a lot of these specifics here later, but I do need to make sure things are set to where I want them to be. I want to check the different window types here. A lot of different window combinations in this particular instance here. I'm feeling type 16. I think we're going to go with the type 16 frame. I like the design of that. So now that that has been properly adjusted, anything on the TV down here? TV's playing a movie. Two boys are in a cave searching for treasure. I better get going. Man, there's just nothing to enjoy here. Cinnabar's Volcano Burger, Mom's specialty. Oh, I actually didn't know this. A squeaky clean sink. Mom loves having it clean. She's making burgers. I had no idea. What's in the fridge? Lots of drinking water and sweet lemonade. Nice. We got burgers, we got water, we got lemonade. Sweet setup here. Anything else you want to say, Mother? Professor Elm is waiting for you, dear. Please go and help him. All right. Well, let's head outside. Oh. Hello, Meryl. So excitable. All right, well, that was our friend Lyra over there, but we're not gonna go see her quite yet. We have a lot to do, but there's a lot that we gotta see. First of all, I wanna go over here, Lyra's house. Head inside here and see what's going on in there. What do you have to say, old man? Hi, Griffin, Lyra's upstairs. She's playing games with her Pokemon as usual. You didn't bring your Pokemon? Oh, I should have known. You don't have your own Pokemon yet. Well, I hope I didn't hurt your feelings, Griffin. Well, unfortunately, you did. Anyway, Lyra, what do you got? Well, first of all, Meryl, what's going on? Same to you, buddy. Lyra, Griffin, what? Professor Elm was looking for you. Did you go to his lab? Yes, so this is one of those weird cases where you can directly interact with Lyra beforehand. Usually the rival is kind of, well, the neighbor is someone optional, but like here, you can straight up interact with them right from the start. But I don't know, it's just a neat little thing that you can go see them before you actually properly interact with them. I'll encourage you to go to Professor Elm's house, but I'm still gonna keep putting off as long as I can. Yo, Griffin, here Professor Elm discovered some new Pokemon. All right, well, thank you, large man. What's in this house? Pikachu is an evolved Pokemon. This fact was first discovered by Professor Elm. I was amazed by Professor Elm's findings. He's so famous for his research on Pokemon evolution. I wish I could be a researcher like him. It's weird that Professor Elm, like, we think like Professor Rowan's the guy who developed research on evolution first, but nope. Professor Elm was the OG when it came to checking Pokemon evolution out. Check this sign here. New Barktown, winds of a new beginning. That's obviously identified by our little wind catchers here. One thing I really do appreciate about this specific instance is that not only is that made apparent by the wind catchers, but you can see little lines on the screen that kind of indicate that wind is passing by, which I actually do like that detail a lot. I like your bag. Thanks. Do you have name? Now what is over here? This is the top of the building that Professor Elm is in. Hi, Griffin. My husband's always so busy. I hope he's okay. When he's caught up in his Pokemon research, he even forgets to eat. Thank you, wife of Professor Elm, who has no distinguishable name. When I grow up, I'm going to help my dad. I'm going to be a great Pokemon professor. Yeah, some people forget that Professor Elm actually does canonically have a child. Everyone thinks Professor Birch was the OG. Nope. Professor Elm was the one. The only difference is that Professor Birch's child actually matters. Unfortunately, his child does not. Now, what are you doing out here, guy? So this is the famous Elm Pokemon Lab. What are you staring at? Rude. Okay, fine, we'll go inside. Well, this is a lot more cheerful. Hello, guy. Me? I'm not the professor. He's at the back of the room. Well, no need to correct me so harshly. Hello, Professor! Professor Elm, hi, Griffin. I've been waiting for you. Do you know anything about my research? As you know, Pokemon are carried in Pokeballs these days. But before the Pokeball was invented, people used to walk with Pokemon, just like your friend Lyra does. Pokeballs are great because you can carry many Pokemon. But walking with Pokemon must have some advantages. It could have something to do with how Pokemon grow or evolve. So I'm going to give you a Pokemon. Can you walk beside this Pokemon outside its Pokeball to see if it brings any special feelings or bonds between Pokemon and people? The device over there has some Pokemon you can choose from. Oh, hey, I got an email. Okay. Hey, listen, I have this acquaintance that people call Mr. Pokemon. He keeps finding weird things and raving about his discoveries. Anyway, I just got an email from him saying that this time it's real. It's probably another Pokemon egg, but we're still so busy with our Pokemon research. Wait, I know. You can go in our place, right? Can we count on you? You can choose one of the Pokemon over there. Oh boy, we have some good ones here. So, Professor Elm wants to give us a Pokemon here. Let's take a look and see what's available to us. Touch a Pokeball to see what Pokemon is inside. So yeah, so you can actually touch the Pokeball on your screen to see what Pokemon is inside. So if we were to tap the Pokeball on the right here, we can actually change to a different Pokemon. So before we actually decide which of these three Pokemon that we want to go over, I actually want to take a minute to talk about these three because there is a lot to be said about all of them. So first of all, we have Chikorita. This adorable Pokemon is what set the precedent for Grass Star as being super defensive. Its primary stats focus on defense and special defense and remain that way throughout its development as it evolves into Bayleaf, and then its final form, Meganium. It's basically the Grass-type equivalent of Blastoise. That isn't to say its offensive stats are horrible, but it's just not where its strengths lie. Like its predecessor Bulbasaur, Chikorita learns a mix of offensive moves such as Razor Leaf as early as level 6, Magical Leaf, Body Slam, and Solar Beam, as well as defensive and status-inflicting moves such as Poison Powder, Synthesis, Reflect, Light Screen, and Safeguard. Unfortunately, that's pretty much all the positives that can be said. In comparison to the other starters, Chikorita struggles immensely, and for two different reasons. One, Chikorita doesn't learn nearly as many offensive moves as the other two, and the other two also naturally learn a wider variety of moves in terms of typing and utility. Heck, Chikorita can't even naturally learn Leech Seed. Second, and this is the biggest problem, Grass types really struggle to do well in this game. A good majority of the major boss fights and encounters we will have during the main story will pit us against other Pokemon that, at best, Grass types will have an advantage against as long as they don't take a hit, or at worst, they can neither inflict good damage nor afford to receive any damage, and therefore have nothing positive to contribute to the fight. It's honestly a shame, because I really do like Chikorita. If Chikorita had more fights that it could be genuinely helpful in, I would recommend giving it a try. But unless you really want to challenge yourself, I would recommend passing on this one. But, fun fact, Chikorita and its evolutions are the only starter Pokemon to maintain their original Japanese voices in the English dub of the Pokemon anime. In most cases, the Pokemon's names between English and Japanese localizations were so different that it required the dub actors to change what the Pokemon said. But since there was almost no difference between the English and Japanese names for Chikorita and its evolutions, they just left the original actors' voices in. Bet you didn't know that. As for our next starter, we have Cyndaquil, and may I just say, if you're looking for an offensive starter, you will find it here with Cyndaquil. Cyndaquil is an offensive beast of a fire type with a focus in special attack, but still has higher physical attack than Chikorita, allowing you to approach its moveset however you please. Unlike its predecessor Charmander, which turns into a fire flying type when it fully evolves, Cyndaquil will remain a pure fire type as it evolves into Quilava and then Typhlosion. While this does mean that Typhlosion, unlike Charizard, is weak to ground type attacks and does not resist fighting type attacks, it also comes with its own benefits, including not being weak to electric type attacks and not being quad weak to rock type attacks. And trust me, in this generation, that absolutely matters. Now, why am I comparing Cyndaquil to Charmander so much? Because Cyndaquil and its evolutions have perfectly identical base stats with respect to Charmander and its evolutions. The difference lies in what moves they learn. Cyndaquil's moveset is fittingly meant to represent a volcano itself. It starts off with relatively weak moves in the early stages of development, but soon enough, it learns explosive moves like Flame Wheel, Lava Plume, Flamethrower, Rollout, and Eruption. One of the absolutely most devastatingly powerful fire-type moves in the game, with only a very small handful of Pokemon able to actually learn it. And that's to speak nothing of what Typhlosion can learn through TMs or move tutors. The amount of coverage it can get is ridiculous. As a result, Cyndaquil is, in my opinion, the most powerful of the three Johto starters and an easy addition to any team, especially if you're already familiar with how Charmander plays. Also, fun fact about Cyndaquil's sprite, if you pay close attention to Cyndaquil's sprite in the intro sequence of this game, you'll notice that it's different from the sprite actually used in the gameplay, especially around the eyes. Our boy Cyndaquil is much happier during the game than during the intro. Now, before we get into the last starter, I want to take a moment to talk about one of the biggest changes that Generation 4 introduced, that being the physical special split. Prior to Gen 4, whether a move was considered physical or special was strictly determined by the specific type of move it was, regardless of the inherent nature of the move itself. For example, all fire-type moves before Gen 4 were considered special attacks, even though moves like Flame Wheel and Fire Punch relied on the user's physical body to use. Now that we're in Gen 4, whether or not a move was considered physical or special was determined by the nature of the move itself. If the move acted as more of a tackle or a punch or caused a physical impact, then it was considered a physical move, regardless of its type. Conversely, things like beam attacks and energy-generated attacks were considered special attacks regardless of their type. Now, why do I bring this up? Because Totodile is the first of many Pokemon that we will see in our journey that actively benefited from this change. A physical attacking water-type Pokemon, despite how many attempts have been made, was never going to live up to its full potential with respect to its type and stats as long as all water moves remain special. Now, it can properly take advantage of both. On paper. Yeah, while Totodile in its evolved forms Croconaw and Feraligatr are excellent Pokemon that naturally learn a wide variety of moves of differing types, including normal, dark, ice, and even fighting types, it learns very few water-type moves to level up. And most of them are still not physical attacks. And the one it does get through level up does not come until very late in the game. Even so, it's easy to use, it will cover a lot of your party's weaknesses, including some of its own. Plus, it being a water type is helpful for reasons we will observe later that make the concerns of its limited access to water type moves kind of a moot point. That said, there are many, many options for other water types all throughout the game. So while I obviously recommend giving Totodile a try if you haven't before, don't feel obligated just because of the water type. Also, fun fact, the official spelling of Feraligatr was a result of the localization team coming up with a name that just barely didn't fit the Pokemon's name character limit. So they compromised. What's even stranger is that its Japanese name is Ordile, which is obviously meant to be based on the English word for crocodile, which just begs the question, what the heck is this thing? So what Pokemon do I want for myself? Well, I thought long and hard about it, and factoring in many things, especially considering a particular Pokemon game that's coming up in the not too distant future, we're going to be going with Cyndaquil here. As I said, I sang much praise about this Pokemon, and I really do think it is just one of the absolute best Pokemon that you can get. So we're going to be going with my man Cyndaquil here. So yes, you'll take Cyndaquil as the Fire-type Pokemon. We can hit A to advance it, or we can tap the Pokeball on the touchscreen, which is awesome. Griffin receives Cyndaquil from Professor Elm. And as you can see, Cyndaquil is outside the Pokeball. Do I want to give Cyndaquil a nickname? Yes, I do. Let's see here. I think, all things considered, I think for my nickname for Cyndaquil, I'm going to call him Blazer. I just love the name Blazer. I love using it on Fire-type starters. While I don't think it's appropriate for all of them, I'm willing to give Blazer to Cyndaquil because, like I said, he is going to just be mowing through this game. We're going to have so much fun with Blazer. Is Blazer a nickname you want to give? Absolutely. How do you like walking with your Pokemon? It's not bad, is it? You can take it all the way to Mr. Pokemon's house. If your Pokemon gets hurt, you should heal it with this machine. It's so easy to use. Just check the PC at my desk. Mr. Pokemon goes everywhere and finds rarities. His house is past Cherrygrove City. Go north a little past Cherrygrove. I'm counting on you, Griffin. Well, we will not let you down, Professor, especially with our Pokemon that is now walking beside us. This is a mechanic that was introduced in this game, walking Pokemon. Whatever Pokemon you have at the very front of your party will be walking outside with you, as long as it's not too large in certain indoor spaces. Griffin, I want you to have these to help you with your task. We got some potions. Which restore HP by 20%. We'll get to more specifics on how that works later on. Pokemon are weak in the beginning. Don't hesitate to use a potion if you think yours is in danger. Thank you, random unnamed scientist man. So as I was saying, walking Pokemon are in the field. Whatever Pokemon's at the front of your party will be walking alongside you. Some Pokemon don't quite work as well indoors, but Cyndaquil is a relatively small boy, so he can come on out. And moreover, it's not just them walking with you. You can actually directly interact with them. So if I were to use the A button next to Blazer here, Blazer is staring intently at Griffin's face. As we get through the game, you'll see that the text is going to be changing a lot. Hello again, Lyra. Griffin, so you picked a Cyndaquil. That's a cute Pokemon you have. When you walk with it, it'll become more friendly. You should turn around and talk to it sometimes too. Oh, that's right. Why don't you show it to your mom? See ya. Okay, well, I guess we can go ahead and do that. It is something that we do need to do in order to advance anyway. So, let's go ahead and talk to Mother. Behold, my little rodent that is on fire constantly. Oh, Griffin, that's a cute Pokemon you have. Please don't set the house on fire. Professor Elm must have given it to you? Oh, Professor Elm has a task for you, say. What kind of task? I see. That sounds a little difficult. But when someone makes that kind of request to you, it must be important. Oh, that's right, I completely forgot. Your Pokegear came back from the repair shop. Here you go. We received the Pokegear. Another additional button in our menu. The Pokemon Gear, or Pokegear as it's often called, is what every trainer should have. Guess what? You can use the Pokegear to make a phone call too. Do you remember how? Yes. I'll be going over the specifics on this later, so we don't need a big tutorial here. That said, just power on the Pokegear and touch the telephone button, okay? The names of people you can call are automatically registered. Just select one to give him or her a call. Well, I can't believe it's so easy to make a phone call. Alright, well thank you, Mother Dear. Like I said, we'll be going over the Pokegear a little bit later, because a little more we can do with it that I don't want to touch on right now, because we have plenty else to do. Oh, wait 1 second. I almost completely forgot about this. Here, I'll give you my number. And now we've registered Professor Elm in the Pokegear. I'll call you if anything comes up. Alright, no more delays. Let's head on out. We're now on Route 29. Let's see what we got here. Route 29, West Cherrygrove City. Beautiful. Now, in here, there are some patches of grass here. And if we're not as careful, we can avoid any potential danger, it would seem. So, let's head on up here. One thing I do want to point out, I want to give this game praise for. You notice that you hear little tufts of grass through your speakers. The great thing about this game is that they have dynamic ground. So depending on what ground you're walking on, you actually hear different walking sounds. So when you're walking in grass, even if it's not tall grass, you'll still hear little grass tufts, which I cannot stress to you the amount of detail that they put in this game. I am so looking forward to kind of pointing everything out to you guys, because they really put a lot of detail into this, and like this is just the start. Hey, how are your Pokemon? If they're weak and not ready for battle, keep them out of tall grass. Well, I'll definitely try, but I actually do want to get in some tall grass, because we do need to try. Come on. I know there's something here for us. There we go. So as you can see, we found a wild Pokemon here. Now, I'm sure you're expecting me to talk about Pokemon that we can find here, and I definitely will be talking about them at a later point. But right now, I just want to focus on fighting. We have two moves right now. We have Tackle and Leer available. Tackle is a normal type move, does some basic damage, and then Leer will lower the opponent's defense. It's not necessary, well, nor is it an option to catch Pokemon at the immediate moment, so all we can really do is fight them. But for reasons that you'll see later, I do recommend that you make an effort to try to fight on Pokemon as you see able, because trust me, it does matter. All right, there we go. We've taken out Hoot Hoot. Got a little bit of EXP, halfway to our next level. Definitely want to keep that in mind as we progress on. What do you got, guy? I wanted to take a break, so I saved to record my progress. I will not be doing this anytime soon for obvious reasons. I'm gonna go ahead and proceed through this grass. Probably more people need to talk to. What do you have to say? Do you see those ledges? It's scary to jump off them. But you can go to New Barktown without walking through the tall grass. Yes, there are ledges here that we can walk off of. One way does not allow us to go through here, but if we come in through the top, then we can hop down. Depending on certain situations, this may either act as a shortcut or as an impediment, so do be careful. What do you have to say? I'm waiting for Pokemon to appear only in the morning. Yes, so as you can see right now, it is currently nighttime in-game, and that actually is a result of me neglecting to change my DS's clock to a correct time. It's not nighttime right now in reality, but I did not anticipate this. But they do have dynamic time here. Whatever time it is in your DS's clock, it will affect the time that it is in-game. And as we will see later, it does affect certain Pokemon that you can find. So you do want to be mindful of what time you decide to play the game. Right here, it's an apricorn tree. Since there's nothing to put it in, there's no reason to take it. Yes, God forbid we just put an apricorn inside of our bag. What kind of hicks do you think we are? Right, Blazer? Blazer steadily poking at the ground. Well, at least you're mindful of your environment. I do want to see what else we can find here. Just to, again, just do a little bit of fighting. Anything? There we go. That took a little longer than I thought it would. Another Hoot Hoot. Alright, got a little bit more XP from that Hoot Hoot. Thank you very much, Blazer. Now what do we have here? Route 29, east to New Barktown. So if we head this way, we'll go home. If we go west, we'll end up in Cherrygrove City. Hello, old man. You're a rookie trainer, aren't you? I can tell. That's okay. Everyone's a rookie at some point. If you like, I teach you a few things. Okay then, follow me. Oh, he's fast. I can't go that fast in this game. Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot you weren't wearing the running shoes. I'll try to go as slow as possible, so try keeping up. God bless, he's fast. This is a Pokemon Center. They heal your Pokemon no time at all. You'll be relying on them a lot, so you better learn about them. This is a Pokemon Mart. They sell Pokeballs for catching wild Pokemon and other useful items. That is a blatant lie, old man. Route 30 is out this way. Trainers will be battling their Pokemon there. If you go a little farther, you'll see Mr. Pokemon's house. What's that guy doing up there? This is the sea, as you can see. Oh boy, not just as you can see, I can hear. You can hear the little waves crashing on the beach. Some Pokemon are found only in water. Here, it's my house. For your effort to keep it up with me, I'll give you my running shoes. They're still warm. Gross. Gotcha, didn't I? Don't worry, these are brand new. You've received the running shoes from the Guide Gent. Now, if you look at the bottom screen, you'll notice that there's actually a symbol there. We'll get to that in a second. The instructions read, touch the sprint button on the touchscreen to sprint. Also, let's hold the B button down to sprint. Yes, so this is actually one of the big quality of life changes that are only in these games, and I don't understand why they don't have them in subsequent games. I mean, I guess in later Pokemon games, it doesn't matter. There's no real big distinction between running and not running, other than how much you put on the joystick. But back in the day, you wanted to run, you had to hold down the B button, except in this game specifically. So I can tap the B button, I can move a little faster, and that definitely does help speed up the process of walking around. But if I tap on the running thing, I can auto run without having to hold down the B button. This saves a lot of time and just makes going through this game a lot more convenient. Seriously, this is absolutely ridiculous. Now, we don't necessarily need to go to the Pokemon Center right this moment, so I'm going to hold off on that. But I do want to go to the Pokemart just for now, just to show something off. Old man's a liar. We go here and go to the Pokemart right this second. There are no Pokeballs here. There are only potions, antidotes, and paralysis heals. You lied to me. You lied to us, game. That's okay. We'll forgive the old man, for he has given us additional mobility. We'll be going over the specifics of what all Cherrygrove has for now, but we're not going to worry about that right this moment as, again, we have a lot to do still, and I don't want to spend all day here. Trust me, we'll spend time in Cherrygrove City another time, very soon. I made it. I forgot about one thing. There's another token from me. Take it. The Guide Gent loaded the map card on Griffin's Pokegear. Griffin's Pokegear can now show the town map. Select the Pokegear on the touchscreen and then select the town map icon. You'll see the map of the region you're currently in. Oh, he was talking. The Pokegear becomes more useful as you add cards. I wish you luck on your journey. Thank you, old man. We'll be talking about the town map another time. For now, I want to focus on Route 30 and this amazing music. Also, Pokemon are probably going to be coming around more often since I am running. Hello, Spinarak. We'll talk about you another time. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. I got poisoned by Spinarak. Are you serious right now? Okay, this is a status condition. I guess no better time at the present than to go over a certain status condition. Poison. If you get poisoned, you lose a portion of your HP at the end of every turn, and it also lowers the Pokemon's HP outside of battle. So it can be a dangerous thing if you are not careful. And because I was not cautious, I now have to not only level up to level 6 and learn Smokescreen in the process, but now I have to go back. As you can see, while I am poisoned, certain poison will go off and it will affect the screen. Fortunately, in this game, they introduced another concept. Blaze will survive the poison faded away. So the poison status will go away once Pokemon gets reduced to 1 HP. In certain other games, the Pokemon will basically just faint right in the spot. But in this case, it just goes down to 1 HP, which thank God, because otherwise we would have just wiped out right in front of the Pokemon Center. We'll talk about specifics of the Pokemon Center another time, because I wasn't even planning on going there today. Anyway, let's try this again. Amazing music, Route 30, Wild Pokemon. We're gonna concentrate on just getting past things for now. Cyndaquil is at level 6 already, so we're just gonna focus on there. We got a potion from that little item box, and yes, they are canonically item boxes, so not item balls. It's very weird. What do you have to say, man? Oh, you're wearing the running shoes. They make you feel like you're flying, don't they? But beware of wild Pokemon trainers. When you run, the noise will attract them. Good to know, my guy. Right here, we have another sign. We go north, we'll head towards Route 30, and if we go south, we'll go back to Cherrygrove City. They have these little signposts all throughout the region just to make sure you know where you are. Now here we have a house. I'm going to ignore it. Hey, kiddo! How in the world can you be so oblivious to my eye-catching house? Hold it right there. When you follow that path up north, you'll see Mr. Pokemon's house. But before you go, let me finish what I have to say. Do you have any apricorns? Apricorn trees bear fruit once a day. I have one of those trees too. Apricorns are really something. You can make Pokeballs and other things. They are quite useful. I have a feeling this is meant to be because I have something for you. We got the Apricorn box. With that Apricorn box, you can carry so many Apricorns. You'll be a decent Apricorn collector. Well, thank you for that. Anyway, the Apricorns here. There's an Apricorn tree. If we have the Apricorn box, we can pluck them. And we get a green Apricorn. Thing to know about Apricorns. Each Apricorn tree produces only one color of Apricorn. It doesn't matter how you interact with it. There are many different colors of Apricorns, and it produces one Apricorn per day. So this is the beginning of one of the things I love about this generation. There are many, many daily events that we can make use of. And Apricorn trees are just the tip of the iceberg. So we do want to remember all the Apricorn trees we can, especially if certain Apricorn trees are more appealing than others. So we're going to head through the grass here. Somehow we did not encounter a wild Pokemon here and get this item ball. Or item box. I did not follow my own words. A Pokemon can use its moves as long as moves still have PP. When a move has no PP remaining, that Pokemon cannot use that move. Then you should take your Pokemon to the Pokemon Center. It is the easiest way to restore PP or power points. We can't go up through here, but we can see what's going on. Go Rattata! Tackle! What? This is a big battle. Leave me alone. Okay, my guy. Gee, the rudeness on this man. Mr. Pokemon's house, straight ahead. Since we can't go up to the left, we'll go up to the right over here and find another Pokemon. Oh, not you. All right, heading up this way. We're gonna be very careful, try not to find anything else. Very good. Now right over here, we have a different Apricorn tree, so we wanna interact with this. We got a pink Apricorn. So now we have a green and a pink apricorn in our apricorn box. Very useful. What does it have to say? Mr. Pokemon's house. Let's head on inside. You must be Griffin. It was I who sent an email to the Professor Elm earlier. This is what I want Professor Elm to examine. We got the mystery egg from our good friend, Mr. Pokemon. A friend of mine from Ekritique gave it to me. I bet you can't find this kind of egg in Johto. I thought Professor Elm might be able to tell us what this is. He's the best when it comes to the research of Pokemon evolution. That's a quote from the famous Professor Oak. You are returning to Professor Elm. Here, your Pokemon should have some rest. Thank you, my guy. And now we talk to the man himself. And with that, I'm Professor Oak, a Pokemon researcher. So, you're Griffin. I was just visiting my friend, Mr. Pokemon. I heard you were running an errand for Professor Elm, so I waited here. Oh, what's this? A rare Pokemon? I see. You must be helping Professor Elm's research. I think I understand why Professor Elm gave you that Pokemon. You will treat your Pokemon with love and care, it seems. Ah, you seem to be dependable. How would you like to help me out? See, this is the latest version of the Pokédex. It automatically records data on Pokemon you've seen or caught. It's a high-tech encyclopedia. I'd like you to have it. And like that, we've received the Pokédex from Professor Oak. Go, meet many kinds of Pokemon and complete that Pokédex. But I've stayed too long. I have to get to Goldenrod for my usual radio show. Griffin, I have a feeling that this is not the last time we'll meet. Let's exchange numbers just to be on the safe side. Griffin registered Professor Oak in the Pokégear. Alright, what do you have to say, Mr. Pokemon? Sorry to trouble you having to go back and forth, but please make sure to hand it to Professor Elm. Alright, I want to check the inside of the house, see what's going on here. No flavor text for this. What about these? None for the computers? What about the actual computer itself? No. Really, nothing at all. Here we go. Chock full of Pokemon books and photo collections. Alright, well, not everything can be a wealth of information, I suppose. Oh, urgent call from Professor Elm. Hello, Griffin? It's a disaster. It's just terrible. What should I do? Oh no. Please get back here now. Okay, well, that did not sound good. And yeah, as you can see, it's technically past midnight on my DS. That is not what I'm working with here. Now, I do want to head down, but before we go any further, I just wanted to remind myself here. I'm gonna go to the key items real quick. Here you can actually see the mystery egg on the bottom screen there. Mystery egg, a mysterious egg obtained from Mr. Pokemon, he's not a professor. What's in the egg is unknown. Many people do miss that this is a key item that is in your bag for a little bit, so I just wanted to be sure to show that off while we had the opportunity. Alright, heading down this way. We're almost back to Cherrygrove City. There are these neat little cliffs that allow us to skip past most of the hazards that are in our way. Very nice. Now we're back in Cherrygrove City. I sure hope nothing unfortunate happens on our way out. Gosh dang it. You got a Pokemon at the lab. What a waste. That's a Pokemon that's too good for a wimp like you. Don't you get what I'm saying? Well, I too have a good Pokemon. I'll show you what I mean. Oh no! We've met a Ginger! No, we are challenged by Passerby Boy, because we don't know what this kid's name is. Sending out a Totodile, level 5. Pretty sure Totodile only knows Scratch and Leer. So we're gonna go ahead and do a little bit of setup here. First of all, I'm gonna use Smoke Screen. Smoke Screen's that move that we got from leveling up. It lowers the opponent's accuracy, making it less likely that Totodile will be able to land his attacks. Next, I'm going to use Leer to lower Totodile's defense. He is also using Leer to lower my own defense, so I do want to be sure that I get started on the offense very quickly. So let's go ahead and use Tackle. Alright, got about a third done, but how am I doing? Alright, more or less even. I think if we just kind of keep at this pace, we should be fine. All right. You're doing okay for someone weak. Well, thank you, random passerby boy. All right, there we go. Totodile has been taken down. And like that, Blazer gains 70 XP. We level up? Yes, we have. Awesome, we've leveled up to level 7. Huh. Are you happy you won? Yeah, I got $500 and I leveled up. All good things. Do you want to know who I am? I'm going to be the world's greatest Pokemon trainer. Oh, shoved me aside. Oh, what's wrong? Give it back! That's my trainer card! Oh no, you saw my name. Yes, we know the name of the boy. I'm gonna heal up at the Pokemon Center real quick before we press on. Just in case. Alright, well, with that out of the way, we're gonna go head back to Little Root Town. I don't know why I was hesitant. I hesitated first. I was like, is it Little Root Town? Am I mixing names up? No, I'm not. I'm not mixing. It is. I did. I straight admit. I said the wrong name. It's New Bark Town. We're not in the Hoenn region. Crud. Anyway, we're back in New Bark Town. That is the place where we are. Let's go see Professor Elm, who lives in New Bark Town. The professor of New Bark Town, guys. Who are you? We're investigating the case of the missing Pokemon here. Rule number 1, whoever did it will come back to the crime site, because they are sus! Oh my, so you must be the one who did it. Lara, hold on a second, he has nothing to do with it. I saw it, there was a red-haired boy looking into the building. What? You battled a boy like that? He must be the one who did it. Did you happen to get his name? So yes, we can name our rival, and I do have a proper name for him. Now, the canon name for this particular character is Silver. This is meant to be indicative of the fact that the original name of the protagonist is called Gold. I know they changed it to Ethan in HeartGold's version, but you know, he's always going to be Gold in my mind. But even though I would love to call him Silver, just for the sake of community canon names, the fact that I'm not using a canon name kind of discredits that. So I found a happy medium here, and I think that you'll be satisfied with this. So we're going to call our rival, well, I'm sorry, call him. This is obviously the name that was on his card, Doi. We're going to name him Argento. Not only is this a different name from Silver straight up, but to satisfy those who prefer the canon name, this is the Italian word for silver. And fortunately for me, it happens to fit perfectly in the character limit, so yay. So our rival's name is going to be called Argento for the purposes of our adventure. I see, so Argento was his name. Yes, it was. Thanks for helping my investigation. My next assignment is to search for this red-haired individual. Griffin, I'm glad they understand you are innocent. See you later. Griffin, this is terrible. Oh yes, what was Mr. Pokemon's big discovery? Griffin handed the mystery egg to Professor Elm. Huh? This is an egg, isn't it? This egg may be something I've never seen. Still, it's just an egg. Mr. Pokemon is always fascinated by eggs. Well, since you gave it to us, we might as well find out what secret it holds. I'll keep it for a while to find out about the egg. What? Professor Oak gave you a Pokédex? Griffin, is that true? That's incredible. He is superb at seeing the potential of people as trainers. Wow, Griffin, I knew you were a little different. Things are going to be fun. Your Pokemon seem to really like you, so why don't you take the Pokemon Gym Challenge? If you manage to defeat all the gym leaders, you'll eventually challenge the Pokemon League. Well, Pokemon League champion. Or not, haha. Becoming the champion is not at all easy, but you can certainly challenge Violet City's gym. Griffin, challenging the gym scattered around will be a long journey. Before you leave, make sure you talk to your mom. Alright, well, I think on that note, we're going to go ahead and end this here. We got a lot done. we got introduced to the world of Pokemon. We got ourselves our very first Pokemon. We got the mystery egg from Mr. Pokemon, got the Pokédex from Professor Oak, and we came back to the Pokemon Hub to find that our rival Argento has stolen a Totodile from Professor Elm. So next time on Pokemon HeartGold, we're gonna head out and begin our journey properly. See you guys then.